So, when you think of intelligence, you normally think of the one intelligence that most people refer to, and that is intellectual intelligence. And Howard Gardner says there are actually multiple types of intelligence, and I'm going to go through them with this video. Now, the first is called logical mathematical intelligence, and this is basically what you think of when you think of intellectual intelligence. This would be stuff like logic, or if you're good at taking tests, you'll probably have pretty high logical mathematical intelligence. This also has to do a lot with critical thinking and making and reading graphs, as well as organization. If you like to organize your stuff and keep it very organized and are good at organizing it, then you probably have very high logical mathematical intelligence. Now the second one is called verbal linguistic, and if you have high verbal linguistic intelligence, you are probably good at saying that word. You are good at poems, you are good at rhyming words, finding words that rhyme, you are good at reading and writing, and you're good at learning other languages. You learn them pretty quickly compared to other people. And you're probably great at turning a little tiny story into a huge, fascinating story that can enthrall an entire room. The third is interpersonal. And interpersonal intelligence would be like understanding other people's emotions, understanding what the social etiquette and norms are of this situation. You have to be able to be good at reception to other people's moods and what motivates them. If you are a business administrator and you're good at motivating someone, you probably have pretty high interpersonal intelligence. If you're a good leader or just a manager in general, and you can coordinate work with other people, you are probably really intelligent in this interpersonal field. The fourth is body kinesthetic, which means you are good at handling and maneuvering your own body. You can handle objects skillfully and basically move them around however you want them to, as well as your body. People that are very intelligent in the body kinesthetic field are dancers, actors, soldiers, and even many sports athletes. The fifth is musical intelligence, and this is associated with rhythmic and harmonic music. Being able to interpret sounds, rhythms and tones and pitches, and being able to understand them on a level that most people can't understand. If you're good at this, you can probably compose or at least play an instrument. The next is visual spatial, and this is like basically how well can you visualize something in your mind's eye? How well can you think of something in your mind? And another example of this would be how well can you get through a maze? Can you see it in your mind's eye where you're at in the maze or a cornfield? And Gardner went so far as to say that this could even be used as to judging distances, or how well can you read a map? And the next type of intelligence is called intrapersonal intelligence, and this is different from interpersonal intelligence. Intrapersonal intelligence is more about how you understand yourself. Are you self-aware? Do you know what feelings you are feeling, what emotions go through your mind when you are in certain situations? How well can you control your thoughts and actions and feelings in general? Do you know your strengths and weaknesses? And the last, which came out a couple years after Howard Gardner came out with his multiple intelligences theory, is called natural intelligence, naturalistic intelligence, and this has to do with being able to recognize stuff in the real world, basically flowers and trees and anything that's living. Hunters and fishermen are pretty intelligent in the naturalistic field. So are chefs and botanists that can grow plants, and basically anyone that is learned in any biological science is pretty intelligent in the naturalistic field. Anyways, my next video is going to be on how you can improve these, how you can become a better person through improving each one of these single intelligences to become a better human being, a smarter, a more intelligent being. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can improve each one of your multiple intelligences. In fact, there are 8 of them. I think there might have been a 9th one added, which is existential, but I'm going to go over the basic 8. The first one is logical mathematical, and to improve this intellectual skill, you can do stuff like performing math problems or playing card games with your friends. Just really anything that has to do with solving problems. You could join a college class, or you could write your friend messages in code and cipher and try to decipher them. The next is verbal linguistic, which in order to improve this intellectual skill, you can write poems that involve a lot of rhyming, or you can even rap. Some people like to rap. You could start a daily journal and write in it every morning and every night. Basically, you just need to start writing stories and telling stories. You'll get better and your linguistic skills will improve. Reading stories helps a lot too, because this is how you will learn new words. They become in your subconscious and you'll use them more often. Giving speeches also seems to help improve your verbal linguistic skills. The next is interpersonal. And this is basically, the only way to get better at this is to talk to people. You need to talk to more people more often. You need to put yourself in situations so that you can have more conversations with people. You can work on your relationships, and you can work on trusting people. Or you can watch this video on 92 ways to improve relationships. One of the best ways is by practicing empathy. Some of the ways you can improve your body kinesthetic intelligence is by joining a sport. Now, this is probably the best way to improve it. You can also weightlift, join a club like pottery, or learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Some say that playing charades with your friends or joining an acting class helps a lot too. To improve your musical abilities, you can learn or try to learn to play an instrument. You can start by listening to other people play instruments or music that you don't normally listen to. This would be like classical if you don't normally listen to classical, or rap or hip hop, or some people even go as far out as listening to hard rock or metal. And singing is probably the best way to increase your musical skill. The next is visual spatial. And one of the best ways to improve your visual spatial intelligence is to solve a maze or play Sudoku. In fact, I think I'm going to buy a world map and put it in my room so that I understand the geography of the world better. You could also go on road trips and try not to use Google Maps when you go on these road trips to find directions and learn the world better. Some say that puzzles and chess help a lot, especially chess, because with chess you will be using your mind's eye to see into the future to try to predict where you should make your move. And this will help improve your visual spatial intelligence. The second to last, which is intrapersonal, and this is more unique because this has to do with self-development, self-help. Stuff like meditation, prayer, and something called feedback analysis, which is something that I mentioned in Peter Drucker's book. I made an animated book review of it. You can click here to watch it. You also should work on a personal development plan, something that you want to do, that you want to try to achieve a year from now. You need to set goals and try to break barriers that society sets for you. The last is naturalistic. And to improve your naturalistic intelligence, you could go on a walk. Just something as simple as going on a walk, looking at trees, viewing nature, getting in touch with your naturalistic side. Gardening also seems to help a lot because you learn how to grow a plant. You learn the ins and outs of how you can help the plant grow better. Also, you could adopt a pet. You could get a little dog or a cute little cat.